All right, everybody, the last guy that we're going to dive into here on the episode before I go through my top 10 list of receivers for the Browns is Xavier Restrepo, the wide receiver out of Miami. Restrepo projected at 88, so this would be between 67 and 94 for the Browns. So now we're talking toward the end of the third round that the Browns could maybe sit there, and if he falls to them, cool. Maybe they trade up a few spots to get him, but they are at 94, and he's currently projected 88. So, Xavier Restrepo, 5'10", 209 pounds, 22 years old. He had 95 targets for 69 receptions, 1,127 yards, and 11 touchdowns. And yes, he was catching passes from future, most likely number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward. He ran 91% of his routes from the slot. So this is a slot-specific player. 503 yards after the catch, that was 45% of his production, 7.3 yards after the catch per reception. 11.3 ADOTs, so that's a nice number for a slot receiver. 2.47 yards per route run, just a little bit under, just a hair under that 2.5, which I'm not concerned about that. Just 2 drops on the season. He had a 61.5% contested catch rate. Great analytics there. NFL Draft Profile says Restrepo is a feisty slot-only target who has maximized his talent and honed his craft. Restrepo is a route chef who reeks of urgency and plays much faster than the stopwatches likely to time him. His footwork, leverage, and burst allowed a consistent separation from man coverage on the college level, but contested catches await him on the next level. His instincts, blitz recognition, talent to scramble open when plays break down will make him a favorite of quarterbacks and play callers. Subpar length and average measurables could create some hesitation for NFL evaluators, but the play and football demeanor feel translatable as a future starting slot. So this is another guy, ding, ding, right here. He's got the dog in him. I do feel like that is true. So I like Xavier Restrepo. I don't love him. I like him. If the Browns got the chance at the end of the third round, or even if he's there and they trade back a little bit into that fourth round early and they're still able to pick him up, I wouldn't hate that one bit. Obviously, I would like having Restrepo more if we've already drafted his quarterback, Cam Ward, at number 2, but since he's about 99.9% going to the Tennessee Titans, don't think that's going to happen. We'll go over to Fantasy Pros, here in a second, read what they have to say. My fear with drafting Xavier Restrepo is that if things don't go well, things, which they haven't much for wide receivers drafted by Andrew Berry, I'm afraid we could be drafting David Bell all over again. So now if he's the second wide receiver we take, like we took one of these other guys earlier on, we took a Trey Harris, we took a Jaden Higgins or something earlier on, cool. I'd be okay with grabbing this slot receiver and Restrepo, but we better be getting one of those other guys early first, in my opinion. All right, so over to Fantasy Pros. Yards per route run, 42nd in the country. PFF receiving grade, 15th in the country. So top 15 receiver on receiving grade. That's nice. So they're right up. Xavier Restrepo is a scrappy spark plug. He can be a tone setter for an offense with his energy. He's always willing to stick his nose in a run play and hit a guy. Again, I said it. He's got that dog. He'll chip for his quarterback during scramble drills. The edge and energy he plays with can be felt by just watching his film. And I watched a lot of Cam Ward film, so obviously I saw a lot of Xavier Restrepo. He's definitely a hard-nosed, tough player. I love seeing that. Restrepo has nice body control. He can adjust to plenty of errant throws outside of his frame. He can play above the rim at some points. It's nothing to see Restrepo make a tough catch in traffic. He plays with no fear in traffic, securing targets with defenders bearing down on him at the catch point. He had a 61.5% contested catch rate just this past year. Now, he has a nice second gear in the open field. When he hits the pedal to the metal, he can leave corners in the dust. Don't underestimate his short area quickness. He'll cross guys over off the line, breaking ankles and creating early separation. He is a solid yak threat, ranking 28th in yak per reception and 10th in yak last season. He has solid route pacing and understands where to sit it down against zone coverage. I think, again, I would not be mad if the Browns drafted Xavier Restrepo. I would be a little less thrilled if they took him early in the third. And some of these other guys that I've already talked about were still on the board and they bypassed Jalen to take Xavier Restrepo. I would say, what are we doing? But if we miss out on those other guys, we don't get a Buka, we don't get Knoll. We feel like we really need a solid, reliable guy who can come in and develop into that at the slot position for the team. Okay, grab Restrepo at the end of the third, early fourth if you need to, see where, kind of the board's going. Is there a run on receivers? But that's kind of where I'm at in terms of what I'd be happy or not happy with them, investing certain capital into Restrepo.